I, 32M, spent 7 years as the senior systems architect for a mid-sized logistics firm. I'm the guy who built their routing software from the ground up. I know every line of code and every server quirk like the back of my hand. For 6 years, things were great. Then, a private equity firm bought us out and brought in a new director of operations, my new manager. My manager was the type who thought synergy was a personality trait and wore $2,000 suits to a casual office. 3 months in, he hired a junior associate, the new girl. She was 23, fresh out of a boot camp, and had a degree in communications. My manager told me she was a diversity hire for the tech department and that I needed to mentor her. I spent 6 months holding her hand, teaching her SQL, and giving her my personal documentation for the legacy systems. The new girl was entitled from day one. She'd show up at 10 a.m., take 2-hour lunches with the manager, and then ask me to finish up her tasks because she had a Pilates class. When I complained, my manager told me I was being unwilling to collaborate. Last Friday was my 32nd birthday. I walked into the office expecting cake, but instead, I was called into my manager's office. The new girl was already there, smirking. My manager didn't even look up from his screen. He told me they were restructuring and my position was redundant. I told him I built the architecture and she didn't even know how to reset a cache without me. He actually laughed. He said, "Actually, she's been giving me weekly updates on her optimizations. She's ready. And the best part? We can pay her half your salary. It's just math, buddy." He pushed a pathetic 2-week severance agreement across the desk that included a consultation clause where I'd be on call for her. I didn't sign it. I just smiled and said, "Good luck." I walked out, grabbed my bag, and left. I didn't even clear my desk. What they didn't realize was that our client database runs on a localized encryption key that rotates every 72 hours. It's a security measure I implemented after a breach years ago. The key generation script is buried in a partition that requires a specific biometric bypass linked to my encrypted workstation, which was my personal laptop under a bring-your-own-device (BYOD) policy. I'd asked for a budget to move this to company hardware for months, but my manager denied it, calling it unnecessary paranoia. Monday morning, I woke up at 11 a.m. My phone was already blowing up. The 72-hour cycle had ended at 9 a.m. Without my laptop's bypass, the system had locked itself down. The company's portal was showing a 503 error and the client login page was dead. By noon, my manager sent a frantic email accusing me of corporate sabotage and threatening legal action if I didn't hand over the codes. I called my lawyer, a real shark. I explained the BYOD policy and showed him the emails where the manager refused to pay for the security equipment. He told me to stay silent. By Tuesday, the company was losing $200,000 an hour. Then the dirty tricks started. My manager sent a private investigator to my house who tried to impersonate a police officer to get me to turn over company property. I called the real cops, and the guy was nearly arrested for impersonation. The manager then called my mother, telling her I was in serious legal trouble. She told him where to shove it. The new girl even messaged me on LinkedIn, begging for the keygen script and offering a secret extra month of severance if I helped her look good. I blocked her. Wednesday morning, we were in judge's chambers for an emergency hearing. The company lawyer was screaming about hostage-taking, but my lawyer was ready. He pointed out that I was fired on my birthday, I had followed all exit protocols, and that the access keys they wanted required active engineering labor they weren't paying for. The judge asked the new girl if she could access the data. She literally squeaked, "I can't find the directory." The judge looked at my manager and said, "So you fired the only man who knows how to run the machine, replaced him with someone who can't find the on switch, and now you want the court to force the man you fired to work for free?" The injunction was denied. As we left the court, the manager tried to offer me $10,000 to fix it. I told him to have his lawyers call mine and that the price had gone up. By Thursday, the private equity firm that owned the company stepped in. They fired the manager and the new girl for gross negligence. Then the VP of the PE firm called me. He didn't want to sue. He wanted to negotiate. I told him I'd consult for 1 week to migrate the system to their new hardware. The price? My entire previous annual salary, $160,000, paid up front. He balked, but I just said, "It's just math, buddy." The wire transfer hit my account 2 hours later. While I was doing the migration on Friday, I did a little digging in the server logs. I found out the new girl hadn't optimized anything. She was just renaming my old scripts and claiming them as her own. But the real kicker? I found deleted emails between the manager and his brother-in-law. They were planning to outsource my whole department to the brother-in-law's firm at an inflated rate and split the kickbacks. Monday morning, I walked in to finish the contract. My manager was packing his boxes in tears. I walked into his office and told him I'd already sent the kickback logs to the board and the district attorney. Since he used company servers for wire fraud and messed with logistics infrastructure, I told him the Department of Transportation's Office of Inspector General would be calling soon. He tried to offer me the $50,000 kickback money to stay quiet. I told him I already got paid, and this was just a birthday gift for myself. The real police met him at the door. The new girl was escorted out shortly after, blacklisted from the industry before she even got her first performance review. I'm currently sitting on a beach using that $160,000 to plan my own consulting firm. It turns out being redundant was the best promotion I ever got. If you enjoyed this story of technical justice, hit that subscribe button. I promise my updates are more reliable than a junior associate's optimizations.